So you're listening to us right now on your favorite podcast outlet, whatever that may be, in whatever country you're in.
Unless you're on YouTube, then you're watching us too, which is...
That's true. Yeah. So what we'd like is for you to subscribe and or follow. Like, subscribe, and or follow us. And please encourage your friends to do the same on their favorite podcast outlet.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Verkinnes. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Follow we where we go, up the hill, through the snow. So no job is too small for the Hamburg police, but some are a little stranger than others. A distraught girl comes rushing into the Hamburg police station saying her pet had stopped breathing. She had accidentally dropped it. It was a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
It's a kick-me dog. Actually, it's not even a kick-me dog.
Man,
it's not even a kick-me dog. Because I don't have that kind of hand-foot coordination anymore. But that's little yappy dogs. I always call kick-me dogs.
Yeah, well, you did. Yeah, because you'd harass animals.
I love animals, just not kick-me dogs.
Mm-hmm.
After checking its vitals, officers cupped the little doggy's nose to provide mouth-to-snout resuscitation and massaged its tiny little heart all the way to a nearby veterinary clinic. How do you?
Yeah, you don't do it very hard, man. Yep.
I did. So apparently the ribs on the front are now in the back. So I'm sorry about that. Friday, Hamburg police said vets later called the precinct and said the dog was in stable condition and expected to recover.
Oh, that's a sweet story.
It is. Every once in a while, I find something that's not gross, disgusting, or something you'd like.
Fine. Cal Hunter was at an auction intending to purchase a discounted 2-bedroom flat in Glasgow for himself and Claire Seguin. They found the flat they wanted, and he headed off to the auction. He was having some difficulty understanding the auctioneer with his very strong Glaswegian accent. But when the flat came up, Cal confidently made his first bid. And this should have been the clue for him. There was no second bid.
Oh.
Cal thought, that's odd. Then the gavel came down, the sale was made, and the guy next to him says, mate, have you seen that place? See, Cal thought he was bidding on a lovely discounted flat, but what he actually bought, as auction sales in Scotland are binding, was a 120-year-old 6-bedroom Jameswood villa in Dunoon that had been abandoned for 20 years. Count them, 20 years.
So it's a fixer-upper.
Oh, boy. It gets worse. Except that he calls Claire, she's scared to death, and she was absolutely unruffled by it. She says, let's fix it up. It's then they found out they didn't own the whole building. Just 2/3 of it.
Huh?
They hadn't bought all the units in the building. 6 months later, they owned the whole thing and couldn't be happier with their mistake.
Wow.
Right?
I'm sorry, but that kind of thinking could be me.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. I'd be going, what the hell? What the hell?
Look, we bought 2/3.
I bought the flat. I didn't buy the flat. I bought something else by mistake that we only own 2/3 of. That's the explanation I'd have.
That'd be even better, right? We own 2/3 of the flat. We've got the living area and the bedroom. We can't eat or go to the bathroom, but hey,
we have to pay a toll to get to the
exactly. 5 individuals who you will not find on any superhero list, but maybe should. First one reminded me of you. Joseph Pujol is the fartist.
Shut up.
Yeah. Man was born in 1857, was around until 1945. He's a French entertainer and baker who was better known by his stage name, Le Pétomane, which translates into English roughly the fart maniac.
This guy was good, though.
Yep. His butt was able to suck up air and liquids and then blow them out with great precision.
They used to pay for it. I mean,
they did. That's how he made his living. Between 1887 and 1914, he performed with his own troupe.
Have you ever heard of
the Moulin Rouge?
Yeah.
Yeah, performed there.
Yeah.
He also performed for European royalty and Sigmund Freud, which might explain a lot about
Sigmund Freud. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His performances included farting famous songs. Oh, you do that.
That's me singing. Shut up.
Sorry. Imitating instruments and cannons with his butt. You do that. And extinguishing candles several yards away with a blast from the south half of a northbound fart maniac. After World War I broke out, he retired to his pre-show business career of baking.
Yeah. Well, my son Drew should enjoy that story greatly.
The legacy lives on.
You're not done.
No. I don't know what good this superpower would do. Kim Goodman is the eye-popping woman. She holds and there is one. She holds the Guinness World Record for being able to pop her eyeballs out the farthest from their sockets. Her record is 0.47 inches.
Oh, ick.
Yeah, that was my thought. Goodman learned that she could make her eyes pop on command, both eyes. She has then exhibited her ability on various TV shows around the world because, hey, we all like to watch the freaks. Why do you think you're here listening to us? Goodman said there's no particular trick to making her eyes bulge, although like most people who have special talents, she's not quite sure how she does it. And pretty sure I'm grateful for that because you'd have a whole bunch of teenagers trying to
learn.
Yep. There's
I sprained my eyeball.
Slavosaw Pachek.
Okay.
Or Pajkic. Slavosaw is a human battery. 50 volts of electricity is enough to seriously injure you or me
depends on the amperage, really.
And the electric chair blasts you at 2,000 volts. But you're right, amps are more important.
Yeah.
So Slavosaw, from a place in Siberia I also can't pronounce, will only scoff at such a tiny little shot. He has a superhuman ability to withstand electrical shock and even store electricity in his body. Now, this could be X-Men material right here. Avengers Assemble. He set the world record in 1983. He was shocked with 20,000 volts of electricity with no damage whatsoever. I'm kind of hurting just thinking about it. The condition is called ectodermal dysplasia, which renders his body practically immune to electricity. He can hold live wires in his hands with no issue and is And he was able to even control how much electricity is conducted from his body to surrounding objects. So in 2003, he set a world record by holding a wire in one hand and heating a pot of water to 206 degrees Fahrenheit, just below boiling, in the other. He also set an alcohol-soaked cloth on fire by releasing electricity from his body, cooked a sausage by simply grabbing a pair of forks. Yeah, I knew you'd go right there, you evil, evil man. Ladies, if you ever meet this dude and you feel a spark, run.
You were waiting the whole story for that line.
Nope. I just waited for you to do the obvious because you're rude and disgusting. I got one more.
Okay.
The man bat, Daniel Kish.
The what?
Yeah, it sounds cooler than it is, but not really. If you're a Batman fan, the man bat's a scientist who wants to be like Batman.
Oh, okay.
And somehow becomes bat-like.
Okay. So, Kish, like the movie The Fly.
Yes, only with bats.
Mm-hmm.
So much cooler than The Fly.
Yeah.
Daniel Kish's story begins with a tragedy. He lost eyesight, both eyes, to cancer when he was just over a year old. So through study and training, Kish has developed the ability to use echolocation like a bat or dolphin. He clicks his mouth and listens to the reflected sound and is able to navigate his surroundings to the point where he'd be really hard-pressed to believe he's blind.
Seriously?
He goes on hikes, rides bicycles through town unassisted. It doesn't really give him, sight. Remember, like Daredevil, right? He can't really see, but he kind of has an idea of what's going on. Yeah. Allows him to lead a mostly normal life. Kish, unlike the eye-popping woman, shares his secrets. Mm-hmm. He's the founder and president of the World Access for the Blind. It's a nonprofit that so far has taught more than 500 blind kids how to navigate with sound.
Oh, how cool is that?
Very, thank you.
Let's go from the sublime to the ridiculous then.
Okay.
2 stories. 2 guys are standing in line at the coffee store to pay for their drinks when some Yahoo cuts in front of them, throws a drink at the clerk, and
I know
demands
it's Yahoo.
money.
Could have been a Google.
Yeah, right. It could. When some Bing cuts in front of them, throws a drink at the clerk, and demands money. The 2 other guys watching the whole scene look repeatedly at each other, then the robber, then back to each other, then the robber. Then they shrugged and handcuffed him. Yep, they were police officers in full uniform. Woman in Fresno, California was stopped at a DUI.
You should notice things like, if you're going to be a bad guy, you should really notice stuff like that.
You should know what the uniforms look like. Perhaps he was colorblind.
Know your area. Understand your situation.
But it was so funny. The cops just kept going. We'll just cuff him.
You get him, I'll get the check.
Exactly. Woman in Fresno, California was stopped at a DUI checkpoint, drink driving in UK, for being sloppy drunk behind the wheel. But
So in the UK, that'd be she was sloppy drink.
yeah, behind the wheel. But she was a cheerful drunk
Well, that's good.
and told the police officers, "My husband's right behind me and he's really drunk."
Wow. Must be an interesting house. I'm just.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.